What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to Week 6 of the SSBA Pokemon Draft League. My name is Dapper, and I am your coach of the Chattanooga Chespins. I am looking forward to our battle here. We are getting close to the end of the season, and yeah, we're probably out of playoffs, and you know what? It's honestly, it's okay. My schedule is about to get very busy outside of this. Today, yesterday, as this is going up, I probably will have become a father for the first time. So my schedule is getting crazy right now, so it's okay if I don't make playoffs, but we're still going to give this a good go at it. We're still going to give this our all and see how we can do. Like I said, this is our first bout back into the draft league scene in a long time, and so we're knocking the rust off in this one, and hopefully we'll do a lot better in the next one. But we're still going to do everything we can to win today, and I think we've got a shot, but we will just have to see. Before we jump in though, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, most people who watch this channel are not subscribed, so please don't be one of those people. I would love to be able to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I really think we can do it. But of course, I need your help in order to get there. And then of course, make sure that you click that bell so you're notified whenever I post new videos, and share this video with your friends. Of course, as always, before we jump into the battle, we're going to do a short little team builder so that you can see what my opponent has to choose from, what I have decided to bring this week. And I think that we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to my opponent this week. My opponent, Foodster, is really cool, first of all, and has been really great to talk to in the days leading up to this. I will say that Foodster has had a lot less time to prep than what one normally would. Foodster got this team toward the end of last week. He inherited it then built a team, had his first battle with it 2 days ago, and then now is having his second battle with it today. We're battling pretty early in the week just because of how my schedule is being. So he's been great. He is working under very tight restraints that I put on, so I just want to say a huge thank you to Foodster, and of course another huge thank you this week to It's Danny Mac for helping me with building this week's team. A lot of really great ideas again coming out of It's Danny Mac, and I think it's made my team a lot better. So let's take a look first at what my opponent is bringing today. My opponent has at his disposal Enamorous. So we're looking at an Enamorous mirror match here, although, spoiler alert, I'm not bringing Enamorous to this match. My opponent has been trying to get me to bring Enamorous to this match just to have that mirror match. I have a terrible matchup with Enamorous in this matchup. There are only a couple of things that it can kind of beat, but it just loses in too many situations to where I just didn't feel comfortable bringing it. So I assume my opponent is going to bring Enamorous Eye though, because it is very, very strong, and it's just a great threat. It gets a lot of great coverage. It covers pretty much all of my team, so definitely a huge threat. Also, Garchomp, one of my favorite Pokemon that I wasn't able to draft, unfortunately. It's a really, really strong. I'm assuming that it could be Scarfed here. Scarfed Garchomp looks really good into my team, so that's something I'm watching out for. Heatran, also a really great Mon. I also fully expect it to come this week. Galarian Slowbro, I don't think gets as much love as what it should. It's really good into my team here, especially a bulky variant, so that very well could come. It's got great typing. It's super bulky. It could run the offensive quick draw, quick claw kind of stuff. I'm more expecting a bulky regenerator type of set, just because that does really well into my team, but who knows, my opponent could surprise me. We have Tera Wo-Chien, which honestly with Tera, Wo-Chien isn't that bad. Wo-Chien is a decent Mon, just with really bad typing, but obviously with Tera you can just get rid of that bad typing, and so that makes this a pretty decent bulky threat, and depending on the typing I might have some really big issues with that, so definitely something to watch out for. We also have Toxtricity, which can always be a threat. Of course, no Tera Normal to worry about with this one, so that helps a little bit. We've got Thunderous Eye. Of course, I was wanting to pick this up originally, just because it can go for things like Tailwind. It's got Prankster, so there's a bunch of stuff it can do with that on the priority side, so that's really dangerous. Salazzle with Corrosion, of course, can poison anything it wants to.
It's making me question things about myself. Smash. Smash. It's 100% female. 100%.
And it's pretty fast. It's the fastest member on my opponent's team. One thing that's interesting, though, is that Salazzle is base 117 speed, and I have Sneasler that's 120, and I have Dragapult that is 142. So both of those are going to be much faster than Salazzle, which is really nice. So I can run more bulk this week, and so that feels really good. We also have Urshifu Rapid Strike, also a great mon. It's definitely a huge threat. Aqua Jet hits really hard, and that's one thing that I'm really concerned about. Espeon, of course, screens, Magic Bounce, all of those things can be a big threat. And one pick that I'm honestly more scared of than a lot of these other ones is Bisharp. I think Bisharp does really well into my team. It's basically anytime it comes in, it's going to get a kill. And there's really not a whole lot that I can do to defend against it just with the coverage it gets. I have a couple of options, but they're not the best. So that is one thing that I am kind of scared of. And I mean, with Eviolite and a lot of HP investment, it can take a few hits as well. So definitely a big threat, even though it's not fully evolved now. It's still the same as it always was. It was always really good, and now it just gets better with King Gambit. But now this is also better because it can use Eviolite. So yeah, also a huge threat. Definitely something to watch out for. I'm pretty threatened by it as well. So what are we bringing to hopefully take down the team this week? Well, if you look at my opponent's team, I think that you'll see the biggest weakness, at least from what I have to choose from, is going to be Satitan. Satitan crushes my opponent's team. Just ice, ground, plus coverage is really, really good, and hits everything for at least neutral, most things for super effective, and especially after a belly drum, everything's going to drop almost. And so there are several things that I'm looking at on the team as far as getting weakened down. And once they are weakened down and I can get a belly drum off, this thing goes nuts. So it's really, really strong. I think it definitely has a lot of potential in this match. I've got to worry about playing my cards right in certain situations, but definitely is a really cool mon. It hits so hard, and I absolutely love it. Next up, of course, our Tera captain this week, and you're going to see something really weird. We're going for the memes this week. We're going Tera Bug, and we're not bringing U-Turn. We're going Tera Bug actually as a defensive option, which I know is probably the only time you've ever heard that, but it actually resists pretty much everything on my opponent's team that is going to want to try to attack into this. And so yeah, I pick up other weaknesses and that kind of thing, but the things that want to come in and deal those types of damage get smacked by either Dire Claw or Close Combat, and so it's actually not that bad. And so I think it's pretty cool. We're running Psychic Seed again this week, and you'll notice we're not running any speed investment. That's because with Unburden, we actually are faster than the entire team, even Scarfed, doesn't matter, with no speed investment. And so that's pretty huge. Obviously, if there's Tailwind, that could get a little weird. And so that could be a problem, and we'll have to play around that. But I think we'll be able to get away with it. I think it'll be fine. But yeah, ultimately, as long as there's no like Tailwind or some other kind of shenanigans, then we can outspeed his entire team and throw all of those EVs into bulk, which really helps out. We're running SD again. If we are able to get 2 Sword Stances, we pretty much just win off of that. If we only get 1, then it's not guaranteed, but we can still pick up a lot of KOs and damage. So that's really, really good. So I love that. I think it's awesome. Next up, another meme this week. Again, like I said, we're probably not in playoffs, so now's the time to just meme all over the place. I don't care. And we're going with Special Iron Treads this week. First of all, Iron Treads is great, and I really needed it this week regardless, but I was really considering going with a physical set with like Ice Spinner, and Ice Spinner could definitely hit into a lot of the threats. But then we were like, you know what? We really don't need rocks this week. They're not as insane into his team as what some other teams are. But momentum would be really nice. And so Volt Switch made it onto the set. And then we're like, you know what would be great? You know, if what comes in on this? It's Garchomp sometimes, but could be some other things that may take the hit a little bit better. And so Steel Beam is just going to yeet whatever wants to come in. We've got Earth Power that hits Bisharp really hard because it's really good on the physical defensive side, not so much on the special side. And then of course we maintained Rapid Spin here. So that's all really cool. And so it's a meme set. It's not optimized, but I still think it's really cool. We've got our Dragapult this week, similar set to last week, but not quite the same. This set kind of goes nuts, and it's hopefully a good check to Bisharp, because we've got Sub plus Will-O-Wisp, and so that allows us to really shut that mon down. It also hits any of the other physical threats on the team. It makes Hex and Oko onto things like Enamorus. And of course really helps out if it's trying to go for superpower stuff. It can help into the Garchomp that wants to come in, like if it's Scarfed or something. We just have to be careful about giving Heatran Flash Fire. That's the only thing I've got to be careful of. But for the most part, Will-O-Wisp is really good into my opponent's team, and so that's really nice there. We've got Infiltrator just in case the Espeon wants to try to do screens kind of stuff. That could be a little interesting, so got to be careful with that. Slowking makes a return this week. We haven't seen Slowking in a while, and I needed it this week as a good special wall. It's kind of tough this week to take a lot of the hits, but Slowking's really good. And if I didn't need Chilly Reception, I was gonna run Assault Vest, but I really need it. And so this can of course catch an incoming Bisharp with something like Focus Blast. We've got Future Sight for something like Urshifu. We've got Ice Beam for some other stuff. We should be able to hit almost all of his team for neutral at least. So really good coverage there. But yeah, Chilly Reception plus 3 attacks is great. And of course Chilly Reception allows us to set up for our Titan like we said earlier. Finally, we have Indeedee, and Indeedee here is, again from last week, I came very close to bringing Zoroark over Indeedee this week. It's really good, honestly, and having this really bulky set is really what I needed this week, just to be able to set the Psychic Surge. The Psychic Surge is really good for protecting my mons against certain things. Now, at the same time, I've got to be really careful, because if I try to have my Titan in while this is up, yes, it protects me from Aqua Jet, yes, it protects me from Sucker Punch, but it also prevents me from going for Ice Shard. And so I've got to be really careful with that and try to remove or at least weaken down things that can deal with me on a basis of priority, and then hopefully after that point, once it runs out, then we can make use of Ice Shard past that. So that's kind of the goal here. I've got to be really careful in juggling my turns of the Psychic Terrain to where I can make use of it more so in the early game, and then let it run out and let the Titan do its thing. So kind of an interesting thing that I'm trying to figure out with this. It could end up backfiring on me, and if so, it's my own fault. But we've got 2 attacks plus Baton Pass plus Healing Wish. Again, this kind of invites in the Bisharp. Plus, this allows me to just Baton Pass out safely into something like the Sneasler or even the Dragapult if I need to. And so having that momentum is really nice. I've got momentum on Treads, momentum on Slowking, and momentum on this. So all of those are really nice. Healing Wish could be good if something gets out of hand and something gets really low. Could definitely be huge for the team. So really cool. I think this is a fun squad. I think we're gonna have a great time today. I'm gonna go ahead and join up with my opponent Foodster, and we are gonna jump right into the battle. All right, we are searching here, and I believe our opponent is searching as well, so we should be in. There it is right there. Perfect. So that worked out well. So of course, good luck, have fun to my opponent. And what do we have here? Okay, nothing too crazy. I mean, this is pretty much what we expected. No Bisharp. That's really good. No Bisharp. I was kind of terrified of Bisharp, if we're being honest, just because the combination of Urshifu plus Bisharp is really nasty for us. But the fact that there's only one of them is great. That means we can at least take 1 hit of priority, no matter what, as long as there's not like crazy Sword Stance stuff. Okay. Heatran, Garchomp. Espeon, which we kind of predicted. And then Urshifu. Okay, this doesn't seem like the worst match. I know my opponent's going to be disappointed that I didn't bring the Enamorus on my side, but you know what? It's okay. What do we want to lead with here? I kind of want to lead Tree Trunks here, just because I've got the Volt Switch. If we don't like what we're in on, and I'm pretty fast, so yeah, we'll lock that in. We will lock that in. I've got my speed tiers pulled up. I've got other stuff. I tried not to overthink this week's match. I feel like that's kind of been my issue over the course of this season, is kind of thinking and overthinking everything. So I'm trying to just kind of be chill with it going into these last few games. There's the Heatran lead. Actually, this is kind of predicted. And I'm expecting an air balloon. No balloon. Okay. No balloon. Could be Scarfed, but my guess is that it is going to just be a Rocks lead. That was my assumption. If it happens to be Scarfed, will we lose this? You don't get Eruption anymore. Thank goodness. So that's good. But I was fully expecting Balloon here. I mean, if you're Scarfed, Magma Storm does KO. But I mean, you're not going to lead with a Scarfed, are you? I mean, I got caught by this last week, something being Scarfed. You're not Balloon. Would you be Shuka, though? I'm a Volt Switch, just in case. Okay, not Scarfed. Probably just Rocks, I assume. But I can go Slowking here. So it's not a huge loss, but we scouted for the Scarf, not Scarfed. Which is good. I'm assuming just Stealth Rocks here. Body Press, okay. Good tech, but you would have dropped if you're not really bulky to Earth Power there. Yeah, you would have gone down there. So yeah, and being Body Press, that makes me think he's Fizz Def. So even yeah, even just max HP still goes down to an Earth Power. Okay, so that's not too bad here, honestly. I think I can just Chilly Reception out pretty safely. I could Focus Blast, but I don't know that that's worth it. I don't think that's worth going for. I'm gonna Chilly out. My opponent probably switches here. Doesn't want to take a Surf or something. Even though I don't have it. Yeah, I'm just gonna Chilly out here. This just gives me momentum into something else. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we know that next time he trans in on Treads, it just drops to an Earth Power. I guess he could be AV. I guess AV's possible. Assault Vest. Does Assault Vest live? Probably. Yeah, Assault Vest would live comfortably if it is that, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he has to be Rocks on that in order for it to be worth it. You know what I mean? I go Indeedee here. I'm mostly Fizz Def on Indeedee. I guess I could have gone Dragapult there. Dragapult would have been a good switch. I mean, you're expecting Dazzling Gleam here. What's your switch in? I mean, back into Heatran, right? I mean, I just don't think you stay in on this. I mean, what's the worst that you can do as the water? I mean, I don't think you get anything that really goes too crazy, at least not with my set. No, I mean, you don't do any damage to me. I'm gonna Baton out. U-turn. Ooh, it does a lot. Was that choice banded? I need to check. That might be banded for it to do that much. Back into Heatran. Okay. Which is expected. Okay. So how much damage did I take? I'm down to 73, so 104. 104. Probably not banded. Probably not banded, actually. Now, I could go into Sneasler here, and what is... I mean, Sneasler's kind of free at this point, but I also could just go Tree Trunks and just KO this. Like I said, I think he's Fizz Def specifically for... I'm going to go back to Tree Trunks here. We know I'm faster, and I really think that special Tree Trunks is going to put in some work. I don't think he's Assault Vest. I think he's got to be Rocks on this. I'm going to click Earth Power. I think he's expecting Earthquake. I think he's expecting Earthquake. That's just my opinion. And he might go into Garchomp here expecting another Volt Switch. If so, so be it. We get a little bit of damage on that. Not much, but okay, yeah, he does switch. Maybe he thinks I'm Scarfed. Okay, yeah, scouting for the move. Now he knows I'm special. Okay, but how much do you do to me with a superpower? So I'm assuming that's what you go for here. Mystical Fire if he specs KOs. Yeah, Mystical Fire KOs for sure here. So I don't think I want to stay in because I am slower than you, and I can save this for later for sure. I think Slow King is the switch every time here. I need to get a good footing and start actually doing something, because I haven't really done much. I haven't really done, like, anything. Yeah, there's Mystical Fire. Okay. We do know that he has it. That's fine. Spit F drop. I don't care. That's fine. Mystical Fire. Let's not forget that he has that. 202 down to 186. That does 16. Can I tell from that? 16. That is mod... No. No. $16, definitely not specs. Definitely not specs. Possibly Timid Scarf. That's my guess, is Timid Scarf. I think I chill you out again. I think you're Timid Scarf. Yeah, you're definitely choiced. So this is definitely Scarfed. Could have Ice Beamed there, but that's okay. I got really nervous there when it said but it failed, but that's okay. I just needed the switch. So we're good. I mean, even if you're Scarfed, you are not faster than this. So yeah, Timid Scarf with Unburden active, you're not living. I think it's time. I think it's time. It's a free switch. I go ahead and get my Unburden going. The goal all along was to lead off and break with this early, and then late game is going to be Titan, so this gives me a chance. I mean, you're scarfed, you're not doing any damage. I'm swords dancing. I don't care. Mystical Fire is only doing about a third, a little less actually. So if you want to keep clicking that, go for it. I'm not going to Tera because that'll make me weak to it. So that's not going to happen. But this is a free SD as far as I'm concerned. So that's what I'm going for. Yeah, there's a switch. Okay, we found the Scarfer early, which is great. We were expecting either okay, yeah, SD. Do you live? Surely you don't. Fizz Def here at +2. Adamant. Let's see. If you are max defense bold, no, you don't live here. I click close combat every day of the week here. I guess he could have been Choppleberry. Probably should have thought of that for 2 seconds, but it didn't happen, so that's okay. Ugh, Flame Body. Gosh, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, it's fine. We got a Sword Stance up, so that negates it, but oh, that still sucks. Dang. So much for breaking really well. I was really hoping that wasn't what was going to happen. But that's also one immunity to Will-O-Wisp out of the way. Obviously, Espeon is also an immunity too. Man, if I'd been Tera normal Facade this week again, man, that could have been insane. But alas, I'm not. Did not come with that kind of heat this week. Surging Strikes definitely KOs me. Close Combat does 63 to 75 to no bulk. Is it worth staying in? I mean, Surging Strikes KOs, no matter what, right? Now I'm thinking the Rocky Helmet would have been a good item here, but if I Tera Bug, that doesn't make a difference. I feel like I can save this though. I'm still a fast mon, even though I don't have any kind of speed investment. No, my goal was to break early, and maybe I'll get a good status out of this, and we'll just go with that. Yeah, does what we expect. I get the poison off of Dire Claw, and getting this thing weakened down is actually huge though, because this was one of the mons that we struggled to KO with Titan, and because we could only do so much with it. So getting that weakened is okay. Getting it poisoned is fine. Obviously, sleep would have been much better. I would have definitely appreciated the sleep, but it is what it is. We got rid of the Heatran, which is big. I think I just go. I get a free switch into you. I need to be more aggressive. I've been playing too far back this match so far. I can get this in basically for free. I click sub, and you can go into whatever you want. I can't. Okay, you're super fast, but you're not doing any damage. So this is also scarfed. In order to outspeed me, you'd have to be scarfed. So double scarf. Okay, but we are able to scout that out. We know now. I take way too much damage for doing so, but it's okay. Obviously Willow is dumb. I just click Hex here, even though he's faster. That kind of sucks, but that Scarf is pretty crucial. It'll take a few hits to break. I'm not going to die here, but I take a lot more damage than what I was hoping. sub fade, so I take one more. I should be able to take the third hit. Yeah, pretty easily. So Hex will take this down, and that's priority gone. No priority left on my opponent's team, and that's huge. So Psychic Terrain is now expendable, so I don't really need to set it up anymore. Okay, so let's see. Surging Strikes, Sneasler. I'm behind on writing things down. Then Dragapult, Hex to the Urshifu. Okay. This isn't the worst position in the world. That burn definitely sucked because I would have just O-code it. I would have just O-code it for free. So that did ultimately matter. I can still save this. I mean, I feel like I just go into this every day of the week, right? I don't see why I don't. I mean, the thing is, ultimately, this thing is still faster than everything else on the team except for this, because it's scarfed. And so, I mean, it's fine. I changed leftovers to spell tag at the last second on this thing, and I'm kind of regretting it now, because I could have gotten another sub out of it, but it's okay. Okay, we take that decently, not great. But what do you have left? I always forget which button it is. You don't have a great Ice Beam switch in, I'll tell you that. I'm just gonna click Ice Beam. You're not scarfed, then how are you that does nothing. But Ice Beam's still gonna do a decent chunk. Over half. Fantastic. Okay, what are you? You're lefties? Okay. That's fine. I could probably chili out here. I assume you switch into what? Espeon, probably? I always press the wrong one. Because, yeah, nothing else wants to take an Ice Beam. But the thing is, I have Regenerator on this, right? Like, nothing wants to take an Ice Beam. You can go into Espeon all you want. That's fine. Moonblast? Okay. Oh my gosh. We just watched this happen, and oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. My luck, man, in everything is just insane. I get the burn, so then I can't kill the Urshifu. Then I get crit. Great, so that's pretty much game right there. Well, yeah, depending on Wo-Chen, that's probably game. Because I can't KO the Espeon. I've got to be able to do something to KO that Espeon. Man, that sucks. I can go Snowball here and pick this off. Not set up a drum yet. It's not how I was wanting that to go. Yeah, I just click Ice Shard here. I'm not setting up yet. Yeah. That's fine. We pick this off. I can't set up on this thing right now because it just hits too hard. And to Chomp, I'm assuming you're Yachi. I mean, why else would you go into this? I mean, you have to be Yachi, right? Oh, well, you take this naturally, even without Yachi, but I'm assuming you're Yachi. Okay, so now's where things get interesting. I would like to be able to go into this. Problem is that when I set up my terrain again, man, when I set up terrain again, that's going to really hurt the Titan. I'm going to have to kind of play around that. I've got Shuka on this ultimately. I gotta sack Indeedee. Indeedee doesn't do anything else for me, but it kind of hurts me because now I've got to stall out my own terrain. Yeah, I should have went with leftovers instead of terrain extender. That was another one that I changed last second, and now I'm regretting it. EQ, it's fine. Let me go into this. I'm glad that we didn't have to deal with hazards this game at the very least. You don't have your fairy anymore, do you? Yeah, you don't have your fairy anymore. So I can drop a Draco here. And there's no way you brought... I don't think you brought double Scarf. I think you're going to have to switch into something to take this Draco, and whatever it is isn't going to like it. So Dragapult still is going to be able to make some waves here. Like I said, I think this is going to be Yachi to try to take on Titan a little bit, or try to catch me by surprise. And we're just going to have to see what happens. I'm a little scared of late game screens, but... You don't take that? Yeah, no, okay. So, Pult. Draco Scarchomp. I'm just worried about late game screens. It's the only thing. Late game screens could be kind of nasty from the Espeon. That's what I'm really worried about. But that's one turn down of terrain. I still have Treads, who's pretty healthy. Gary, that's the slug. Okay. What do I want to do on said slug? I need to find out what Tera type this is, more than anything. It's not really a huge offensive threat. I could Willow it just for some residual, or I could Draco to get a little bit of damage. I don't think I'm going to deal all that much damage, and I would about guarantee that you're not Tera Fairy. Because Tera Fairy is really bad into my team. Yeah, I will... I'm just going to Willow here. I don't have a better play. Yeah, we see the Tera, which is expected, but I'd like to find out what it is before I just switch something in blind. Tera Steel, we can deal with that. We can deal with Tera Steel. This was one of the types that we kind of expected, so that's actually okay. Obviously, I could have saved this, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really do a whole lot into what I need, so that's fine. Okay, so Wo-Chien takes out Dragapult. I wasn't watching, but that looked like foul play. That's what I'm going to write down. If that's wrong, then I will be corrected later on. But, so Tera Steel... I want to see something. If you're Tera Steel, hang on. Can Treads take this on? Wait a minute. Tera Steel, unless you're like AV, which is unlikely, just drops to an Earth Power. Yo, this special... Hang on, listen. I know that this was like a meme and everything, but like... Special Tree Trunks is like actually kind of fire in this match. Like I'm just gonna be fully honest with you. I'm clicking Earth Power here. According to this, nope, I had the calc wrong. That's why, but it's still 2-hit KO, so that's fine. Body Press, I'm not taking any damage from that. I had the calc wrong, but that's fine. And the burn is gonna negate the leftovers, so that's fine too. You're not specially defensive because that should have done more. You're physically defensive for something else on my team, probably. So, all right, Ruination. That's fair, totally fair. Getting Trunks weakened down. Okay, all right, all right. So let me take stock of where I'm at here. All you have left is Espeon, who hasn't come out yet. I mean, I just knocked this out, right? I don't need any extra speed on this, do I? I don't think it's... I'm just thinking of like whether or not my opponent would go Scarf Espeon, but I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. And if I'm wrong, then that's my fault. But I don't think so. I think it's more defensive. Alright, so Treads. Earth Powers. Wo-Chan. And last, Cat. That makes sense. And you already know that if you bring Steel Beam and you don't go for it for the thumbnail, then you're not actually a YouTuber. So yeah, I'm clicking it. I'm faster than this, right? Right? No, I'm slower. It's fine. I might live. I probably won't. Power Gem? Oh, I live that. Just thinking about Satitan. Steel Meme! There we go. That did half. I might have thrown there, actually. I think I threw. It's fine. I mean, I did half to it. So, let's see. Power Gem. Okay, so for Treads to do like half, you're a little bulky. And Timid Max has no chance of KOing here. We are not clicking Belly Drum at all. I think I just click Earthquake here, and I'm looking at this right? They're both level 50. I've been known to do dumb things before, okay? It's not my first time doing something dumb. So yeah, Power Gem, even if you are... If you're Specs, there's a chance. But Ice Shard never KOs, and we're still in terrain, so I can't go for it anyway. I click Earthquake. That does the most. Power Gem, we're gonna find out. Is he Specs? No, not Specs at all. I eat my citrus, so I actually could take another one. It'd be close, but hopefully we won't have to worry about it. We click Earthquake. Can we take it? We can. Okay, narrow 1-0 victory. So this wasn't much of a differential game, but you know what? We got back in the swing. We actually won another game. It has been since week 1 that we have won a game. And so I am glad that we finally got back into it. It didn't go exactly as planned because of that crit, but I probably could have played around that better. Yeah, I definitely could have done this a lot better, and setting up Satitan was definitely more than possible. Yeah, I could have definitely set up Satitan for that game way earlier, but yeah, either way, really good game to my opponent. I'm so thankful to my opponent for being so flexible and for building his team as quickly as he did. I can't stress that enough, that my opponent was very pressed for time, and it's completely my fault. But my opponent was really great about it. And he did a great job. Like I said, it really came down to the very end there. But yeah, thank you so much to my opponent. Make sure to check him out. He will be down in the description if he has a channel. I believe he does. And that will, of course, be down there. And, of course, next week we are continuing on with our series talking about the Oath of the Watcher's Paladin. And, of course, 1 week from today, we will have Week 7's battle, where we will go at it again and hopefully get yet another win. Until then, stay safe out there. Stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.